Hello, you're watching Ellie from Ellymentry Papercrafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. So before I start anything else today, I just thought I'd show you the cover of the new annual catalogue. Sadly, I can't show you any more than the cover because we're not allowed to show any digital images until after the catalogue has gone live, which will be on May the 3rd. Right, so let's have a look. We've got Anne and Hilary. Hi girls, thanks for coming along. And Rosie, welcome. Thanks very much for coming along, you too. So yeah, this is the front cover. A little image of one of the stamp sets that's coming up and some bits of foliage, and it's got dies with it too, so that's really good. Is there anything telltale on the back? Well, some nice colours there, more flowers, but yeah, I can't really show you anything else, I'm afraid. I can just sort of tease you a little bit with, you know, let's just sort of, oh, can't show you anymore. Sorry, have to request a copy to see the inside. Sorry, I won't tease you anymore. I know it's not funny, is it, when you can't actually see it? Okay. So, as in the thumbnail at the head of the today's, sorry, I'm moving my chair about because the wheel of my chair is caught on the rug, so I've just sorted that out. Yeah, today I'm going to be using watercolor shapes again, which is this one. I say again, I haven't really played with it enough, and I thought I must get this out again and have another play, because sadly this one will be retiring at the end of April. We do have to retire some stamp sets to make room for the new ones. Oh, hello Ruth, hope you're well. Thanks for coming along. So yeah, this one is retiring, but it is still available now until the end of April, so if you want it, get it ordered now. So I'm going to start off with a piece of white, well, I'm not going to say cardstock because I am very, very short of basic white cardstock, so I've had to resort to some paper here. I won't get as good a result as you do from the basic white because it's got a really nice surface to stamp on, but for the purpose this will be fine. Right, who else is coming? Oh, Cindy. Hello, Cindy. Thanks for coming along. Yep, quite early for Cindy. She's over in America there. And Janice is here. Hi, Janice. Really good to see you too. Not retiring. What? Watercolor Shapes isn't retiring. Thank you very much. I'm really glad it isn't. Why did I think it was? I'm just going to check my book to make sure I didn't. You are quite right. This stamp set is not requiring. It's not retiring. Oh, thank you very much, ladies. Good job you came along, isn't it? But you can still order it before the end of April. I don't mind. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to start off. I've picked some colours. I thought we'd start with some pastels, or subtles as we call them, just to get our background, and then I can build up some more colour later. So I was going to use that, but I'm on my, it's not really big enough, that stamping pad, when you're doing a one sheet wonder. So I'm going to actually use the catalogue like such, like so, as my base. That'll be fine. It's on your list. Oh, nice one, Cindy. Okay, well, I'm glad it's not retiring now because I can play with it a lot more when I'm demonstrating. Darlene, hi, thanks for coming along. Good morning to you too. Okay, so I'm starting off with the pale papaya and the largest rectangular shape. And let's get started. Now, if you haven't got this set, you haven't seen it demonstrated before, it does have shading in the stamp, which is really good because it you know, it's just gives you a bit of extra extra colour textures really. So I'm just going to start with my first shape, and as always with a one sheet wonder, it's a bit, you know, a bit of guesswork here, and just stamping and looking at where you think you might like the shapes to go. And I always like to start with my largest shape first and just sort of get a rough idea of basically where my pattern's going to lay. So I'm just going to pop like, oh, I need a bit of paper under there now, don't I? Let's just pop this in there because I just want to come off the end here. And I think I'll do the same perhaps here. And I'm going to leave the top for now. Right, so I'll put that to one side. I'm not saying I won't use it again, but I'm just going to pop it over there. And if I do need it, I can quickly grab it again. So my next colour is going to be Soft Seafoam. This is one of my absolute favourite Stampin' Up colours. And I'm going for the largest square shape this time. So that's going to go just in between my Pale Papaya and the largest shapes. And as you can see, you got, depending on how much ink you actually pop on your block, you'll get a different shading of the green each time. And that's pretty much the thing with stamping. You'll always get a different effect when you stamp, because you always stamp, you know, put a different amount of ink on and use a different amount of pressure. It's the nature of stamping. So I think we'll just pop another one just off the page here. And I might just go, right, I might come back with that again. It's like I might come back with the other one. I like to get a few colours and shapes on before I really decide exactly where I'm going. So I'm using Blushing Bride, which is the pastel pink, and the largest circle. And then I'm going to come on and I'm going to start overlapping now. Like so. And we'll pop another one here. And then I'll do a couple coming off the page again. Let's just pop my paper underneath. And we'll come off there. And perhaps another one there. And we'll come off in the corner here too. Let's just see about here, I think. Whoa, that wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, so let's pop that one to one side. This is where I have to put the stamp on top of the stamp pad so that I remember which colour is for which shape. Okay, now I'm going to come in with the oval. This is the largest of the ovals, and I'm choosing Calypso Coral this time. Anybody else joined us? Lisa. Hello, Lisa. Thanks for coming along. I don't think I've missed anyone else, have I? Okay, so we'll come in with this one and we'll do a bit of overlapping again, I think. So, and here we'll go. And perhaps another one down here at the bottom. And I think I'll come off at the side here. And perhaps again at the side. And I might just pop one coming off at the bottom there, and maybe the top there. So what do you think of it so far? As I say, with these, you're never quite sure what's going to happen. Right, so what have I got left? I've got my smaller rectangular shape, and I'm going to use the fresh freesia. Cindy says, like the colour combo. Thank you. And Rosie says, looks great. Oh, brilliant. Oh, Anne says, interesting. Now, that usually means I'm not sure, doesn't it? Okay, so pop the fresh freesia here. And I think we'll come along perhaps here. And then it's got to come halfway round, kind of like, should we say here? And I think we need to go over this side again. Come off a little bit there. I'm going to come off a little bit at the top there and perhaps here. Again, overlapping in some places, that just gives that little bit more interest. Okay. It means it's different. Yeah, okay. But you know those conversations when somebody says something and you actually think, so you say, oh, interesting, when actually what you think is, I don't think so. But anyway, I believe you because you're my friend. So I'm coming in with the smallest square now, and I think we'll go, let's go here. And I think we'll go maybe here. Okay, I'm looking for gaps, but I don't actually want to fill all the gaps. When you're stamping a design and when you're actually doing any design, you don't want to fill in all the gaps. White space is good. And I think that's probably enough of that one. So that was, sorry, that's balmy blue. Oh, I'm running out of space over here. And the last colour I'm going to use, which is the smaller circle or smallest circle, is Misty Moonlight. Okay. So let's do a little bit more overlapping. And don't forget, if you're thinking, oh, suddenly a very dark colour, this isn't going to look right. We do think these colours, when they dry, they do sort of fade to a lighter shade. So let's see what happens. I think we need to come off the page, perhaps here. Right, I think that's enough with the shapes. So I'm just going to make a little pile with my stamp pads over on my side so that I can make myself a bit of room, because it's got rather congested, as you can imagine. So is everyone having a good day? It's Saturday. It's lovely and sunny here today. The wind's gone, which is a shame because I put the washing out. It's still cold. So if I'd had sun and wind, it would have dried quite quickly. But of course, without that wind as well, I don't think it's really got dry. Okay, so I'm gonna I've chosen to go with this. This is gonna, some of you might think, whoa, I don't know what this is going to look like. So I've gone a bit retro. It's not my normal look, but I just thought we'll try something a bit different today. And I brought in the oh, sorry, Celebrate Sunflowers. Here we go. This isn't retiring either. I have checked this one. And I'm using the smaller sunflower here. And I'm also going to use the leaf. So I might as well get that out ready as well. And I've chosen Early Espresso. It looks quite retro, Ellie. Thank you. We're going to get lots of April showers today. Oh, Grand National. I didn't know it was the National today. Oh, wow. Of course, you're right in the neck of it there, aren't you, up in Liverpool? Right. Okay. So we'll come in and let's go for it, shall we? Let's. So I'm going to look for some white space now. And we're going to just pop this in. Again, this is a very dark colour, but it will fade as it dries. Okay, and we'll just pop one in there. Come off a little bit. Turn my stamp so I get a different part of it here and there. Okay. The reason I chose the Early Espresso for this was because obviously the sunflower seeds in the middle are that dark brown, aren't they? And I thought it would be nice to do use that dark brown there. So in with the leaves then, and these can go anywhere. So I'm going to do some second generation stamping with this. So I'm going to do the first leaf and the second, the first and the second, and then I'm going to do that. Okay. Right. I think... Oh, thanks, Anne. I'm glad you're liking this, because I had just looked at it and thought, I'm not sure. So, yeah, I'm glad I got a bit of support there. Thank you. So this is where I'm kind of thinking, not really sure what's going to happen next, okay? So the definite thing is I do have to cut this up. And although sometimes you think, oh no, I don't want to cut it up. Oh, don't cut it. Especially if you're doing a wreath. When Ruth does the wreaths and we join in, it's like, I don't want to cut it up. But I don't think it's going to be so heartbreaking with this one. I'm not quite sure how I'm thinking of doing this, but if I pop, so I've got my normal A5 size card, and I keep, now you said about the April showers, Rosie, I keep looking out of the window and checking it's still sunny and not raining, and it's looking good for now. So I'm sorry about that noise. I should have turned my phone off. It's an eBay notification, so just turn that off. Right, so I think retro, I might go a bit kind of at an angle. I think I might go for cutting. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do, girls. So if you don't like this surgery part, close your eyes now. Make a nice tablecloth. I'll send it up to you, Hills. Won't be very protective, but you know, if it's nice to look at, that'll do, won't it? Okay, Joanna, I'm so sorry I didn't see you pop on there. And don't apologise for being late. That's absolutely fine. So in case you haven't got the gist, I've been using watercolour shapes and Celebrate Sunflowers, okay, to create this retro look. So I'm going to be bold now, and I'm going to cut this, I think probably about there. So all I've done is I've just put the tip in the track there and looked kind of just to make a long triangle. No measuring, just doing it by eye, as they say. So we'll pop that one on there. And I'm going to do another one. And as I say, it doesn't matter if they don't match, because, you know, it really doesn't matter. This is really going to be totally different. Okay, yeah, I can live with this. Right, just to make sure I get this right, I'm going to bring it up about 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to trim about 1/4 of an inch from this end here. Again, I'm not critical about this being exact, but we'll just get as near as we can. Okay, yeah, that's about right. Okay. So we're in like so. Now I want something to go across like that. So I'm going to grab I'm thinking about some of the early espresso cardstock, but it might be too dark. So I'm going to try, I think I'll go with crumb cake. And my idea is to put some strips across underneath here with some brickwork on. Where's my there it is. It's just hidden by something. So this lovely background stamp called Stacked Stone. I think if I stamp that so it looks like a wall behind, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to need a couple of pieces, so we'll go, I think if I just stamp that one, it should do the trick. Where's that piece of scrap paper again that I was using that's disappeared off the face of the earth? It's the story of my life. I had it a minute ago. Here it is. So we'll pop this just over there for now. And I'm going to pop this in my Stamparatus because it'll be easier to stamp because I don't have a big block. So I just going to pop that in the middle. Take the mat out because I'm using the thick red rubber and I don't need that. That's for the photopolymer stamps. Joanna loves these sets. Yeah, they are nice. I think at the beginning I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with either of them, but you know, once I started, it's all about playing, isn't it, Joanna? Once you start playing, you have to play before you get, you know, your good result. And that is the best part, is playing, and just grabbing a piece of scrap paper will do to play on. So if I just No, I want to bring that right over, don't I? Because I want, so that needs to go, let's just check, a bit like that. Okay, so I'm going to put it on that line and about that much in. Right, that should do it. And I'm going to go with the early espresso again. Ink this up. Right, what I should have done is, if you pop your stamp set underneath here, so if I just grab that, then that helps when you're inking up. Okay, then I'm going to come over like that, and I made myself one of these things. I don't know what you call them, but you can buy something like this, but I just made this out of a candle jar and some old wax and a few marbles and a bit of, just a load of heavy junk in there, and covered it with a nice soft cover, and then you can rub it all over to get yourself a good image. I never press hard enough on one side, so this is different to using a block. When you're using this, you do need to press hard. So that's one side, and I'm going to turn it round, and I know it won't perfectly match, but I don't mind. Okay, and if I put it there, that should match up with the edge. So I'm going to pop that down, and I want to concentrate on stamping this edge. It looks like it should be that one, but I've made that mistake before, inked up the wrong side. And just press this. Okay, that's fine. And then I'm just, to get rid of that, just going to spray it with the stamp cleaner, because this is a plastic surface, or just some water would do, and a piece of kitchen towel, and that comes off very, very easily. And then if you've not seen the Stamparatus, however you like to pronounce it, it's brilliant, because you can lift the doors right off, and you can actually use that as an acrylic block if you want to. But I'm taking it off because if I closed it, it would then mark it again. So if I put it on the other way, then I can pop that right out of my way, and it's not going to mark anything again. So here I am with my brick wall, my fake brick wall, and in my mind I'm thinking of doing 2 pieces behind here, so perhaps one there and one there, and I could do one thicker and one thinner, or I could do 3 strips. What do you think, girls? Should I cut that into 3 or 2? 2 different sizes, or 3 the same, or 3 different sizes. I could do a narrow one, a wider one, and then a wider one still at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to put that out to the jury to vote, and I'll move it away up there while I bring in the stamp set again, and a piece of cardstock, so that I can stamp the big sunflower. Again, I'm going to stamp it in the early espresso, and this is our mega big one, so I need my mega big block. In fact, I could just use the Stamparatus. Oh, sorry, I thought I'd turned that sound down. Right, if I get the other plate, if there's a crash in a minute, I do apologise. It could be a what we call a crafter lunch, where all my craft supplies just fall down. So if I bring in my other plate, because this is a big stamp and it's always useful. If you've got a big stamp and you use this, you can always close it down to stamp again if need be. Right, so I've got some basic white, and I'm saving this basic white cardstock for things like this at the moment. I'm going to put an order in very shortly, but in the meantime I'm just using the paper unless I really need the card. So that can go there. Let's pop my magnet on there, and I'm away again. Stamp set underneath there. Incidentally, the Stamparatus comes with 2 of these, so we're going to have 3. Thank you very much, ladies, for your votes. So let's pop. Oh yeah, here we go. 3 equal, says Rosie. Okay, are we going with 3 equal or 3 of varying widths? Oh wow, that's come out beautifully first time. Let's turn that over and round so that, like I said last time, it doesn't get on somewhere else. Okay, now I thought to colour this in, I'm just going to make sure it's dry before I do anything else. I've grabbed a tissue. I'm just blotting very gently down on that to make sure. And yeah, perfectly dry. I know they dry quickly, but you know when you think, I best just check. Thanks, Joanna, for saying it's gorgeous. Right, to colour this in, I'm going to use one of my watercolour pencils, and I've chosen Daffodil Delight because they don't do one called Sunflower. And I'm using one of our blender pens. Now, don't get this confused with the blends, which are alcohol markers. Thanks, Hilary. It is a lovely stamp, isn't it? These are blender pens, so they work with the watercolor pencils. So instead of using water, now I'm going to color right over this because I'm going to cut it out, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, they work with these. So if you used water, there's a chance that you can spoil your cardstock. You can make it pill, make it all bobbly, and distort your paper, etc. So by using these blender pens, it adds a clear liquid, but it doesn't affect your cardstock. They're really, really useful. And you get 3 in a pack, and they're double-ended, so you can use them for 6 different colours. And I mean, you haven't got to have, you know, one for every colour. You know, I'm going to use the end that I use for yellow will do for all my yellows. You find that before I use it, in case I'm going to, perhaps I'm using a very light yellow today and I might have used a dark yellow before. Normally, you know, if you leave it some time, by the time you come to use it, the colour's gone anyway. So if I just go like that, because I did use it earlier today, but if you just let the tip go for a little while, it will actually go away. But this is quite a dark yellow, so it's fine. So I'm just going to go all the way over like that, and I'm using the side of it rather than the tip, because A, I can work faster, and B, there's no chance of me spoiling the tip. Whereas if I went like that and did a lot of colouring, put too much pressure on it, perhaps it might spoil the tip. Now I'm just going to, because I've lost the lid. This is one of my favourite tricks, isn't it? That I'm just going to pop that magnet back in here before I lose that. There's the lid. That's lucky, wasn't it? And I'm not going to do ever such a lot with the middle because it's already shaded, but have I got just see if I've actually got early espresso in my watercolour. Oh, I have, yeah, it's in that box. I didn't look properly, did I? So let's just go over just a little bit because it's very brown in the middle. And have I got one that I've used for brown? No, I haven't. So I'm just going to go over this. So it's just made it a little bit darker, but not as dark as the centre. So that's enough. Just do that to get the worst of that off. And I'll pop these back in here. I'm not one for keeping things in the pouches. I'm usually very good at, if I've got a container, just emptying the things into the container, but I've realised that's not really a very good idea, because if I want to find something quickly, I've got to root through a whole box full of loose things. By keeping these in here, I only have to look on the back and I can see what colours are there. And I know, if I just look for this packet, I know they're in there. So yeah, you learn by your mistakes, don't you? Okay, so moving on. How are the votes going for? So we've got 3 equal, 1 vote for 3 equal, and 1 vote for 3 different widths. So we're neck and neck at the moment, girls. So we need a bit more input on that. So I'm just going to cut this out. I don't have a die for this. There are dies available, but I didn't invest in them when I bought the stamp set. But as I say, it is carrying over into the new catalogue. So I could very well buy them this time round. Because there's lots of dies and they can do some really good things. Now, when you're doing fussy cutting, as they call it, I just prefer to say cutting out. That's what we always used to call it. With something like this, I find if you do downward cuts from the outside in, it's less fiddly, and you don't have to go right on the lines. In fact, it's very often better if you leave a little bit of cardstock around the outside of the shape, because then the outside line is defined. Whereas if you've got on the line, then that line is lost and the shape has no definition. Oh, I suddenly got very warm then, but it's okay because I've cooled off a bit now. I must have been getting a bit excited about something there. Oh, we're going for equal. Okay, girls, equal it is. I would have done odd, but I'm going to do what I'm told. And I know you're all thinking, well, that'll make a first. Our Ellie has got her own mind, and she usually does what she pleases, but I asked for your opinion. So I'm going to take note of it. But don't, you know, this might not happen every time. Just remember that. uh, so has anybody seen the photographs on Facebook? Some of you know that I went out with Esther and Claire, two of my teammates, last night, and we went for an Italian meal in Bradford-on-Avon, and it was absolutely wonderful. The restaurant was fabulous, service was great, food was amazing, and the company was obviously of the highest standard. We just laughed and laughed and laughed, really. Yeah, it was a really good night. But the trouble is, these really good nights, they have to end, don't they? And then you come out and think, oh, I've been looking forward to this for so long, and now it's all over. I just want to do it again tomorrow. But it's not going to happen tonight. But it will happen again, I know that. And if anyone's never been to Bradford-on-Avon, it is a beautiful little town. Very oldie-worldy, and we actually, from the window of the restaurant, we could see where the swans nest on that part of the river every year, and have done for centuries, apparently. Right, sorry, if you're getting a bit bored, we're nearly there. So has anybody put a bet on the rational? Oh yeah, swans are just gorgeous, aren't they? And swans probably remind you of your mum, Ruth. I'm not saying she looks like a swan. In case nobody knows, swan is part of her name, isn't it? I think it is anyway. Oh, correct me if I'm wrong. You never heard of Bradford-on-Avon? No, it's like right out of your area. But it's, you know, it's not far from me. It's south of me. Me Swan. Yes, that's right. I thought so, Ruth. I knew it had something to do with her name. And I couldn't remember exactly. But yes, it reminds me of your mum. Your lovely mum, I might add. I did notice, though, there were pictures of Claire and Esther, but they didn't show the only picture that was taken of me. Maybe it wasn't a very good one. Or maybe they only pretended to take a photo of me. But unfortunately, we didn't get one of us together because we couldn't, there was not a space in the restaurant where we could sort of move together around our table. Yeah, and by the time we got outside, it was too dark, so that was the end of that. But I promise you, I was there. Okay, so we're going to do equal lengths of this, aren't we? I keep putting this back on and taking it off, don't I? So I know my card's 5 3/4 inches wide, so I'm going to cut this at 5 1/2. Oh, if only you could see the side of my, I've got a little L-shaped, well, a big L-shaped desk, but the side of it over there is dreadfully messy. You'd be absolutely astonished if you could see the state of it. So, I don't know what this measures, and I've said I'm going to cut it into 3 equal pieces. So I've got to work that out now, haven't I? Oh, me and my big mouth. I'm going to measure it on a ruler. You had to Google where it was, yeah. Right, I might have to do this in centimetres, girls. Are you impressed? Right, so The easiest way, I'm going to cut it to 9.9 centimetres. And then I can cut them at 3.3. And then that will be equal. I hope you're impressed of me working out those centimetres so quickly when I normally only do inches. I'm just going to take my bone folder and just go around the edges of my cardstock, because I find, because it's a blade that pushes into a groove, that you get a little lip on the edge of your card. So if I just use my bone folder to smooth that out, I get a better finish. Right, so the idea is we pop these behind like so, and these will go back like so, and my sunflower can go there. In fact, I'm going to put my sunflower here. I'm going to stamp a couple of leaves. So if I grab this block, whew, I'm working quite hard here this afternoon. I hope you're all feeling sorry for me, working hard, you know, on a lovely day, and you're all sat there in the comfort of your homes just watching. So early espresso again. Joanna, what do you mean by very what? So stamp a couple of leaves and very quickly cut these out. Sorry about all this cutting out on the camera, but you know, I really didn't know where this was going today. I just I knew I wanted to play with the watercolor shapes, and the other day I kind of thought, I want some, I could put some flowers on, and so I'm sort of just making it up as I go along now. Well, I'm really not cutting these out very well, but I'm not going to fret about it, because I've just had another brainwave to colour these quickly. And I should have done it actually before I cut them out. What a silly woman. So if I grab, I think we'll grab Pizzazz and my great big brush, and pop them on here. Oh, I'm getting in a real mess here. I'll tell you what, you wouldn't believe the stuff that's all over the place. But that's what happens when you have fun, okay? Oh, converting to centimetres. Thanks, Joanna. Oh, thank you. Right, so that's a really good way to colour in, and then I'm just going to go like that to give it a little bit more, some more like, oh, where's that gone? Yeah, this is why I should have coloured it before I cut it out. Where's the little one gone? Did anyone see where the little leaf went? Or did I not cut the other one out? No, I didn't, because I decided I would just have 2. Did I? Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm losing my head, aren't I? There we are. So that's how not to... oh dear. How not to use the brush to colour. You know, colour first, cut second. It's very, very roughly cut out. Mind, if you do this kind of colouring, like I did with the sunflower, when you do cut out and it's not perfect, because you've got that colour, it's not, you know, really obvious. It doesn't really matter. So we've got that, yeah, and 3, that makes an odd number. So as you know, odd numbers are always better in art and floral arrangements. So 2 large, 3 small. Okay, so here we go. Right, now then, scrap the sensible comment. Thanks, Anne. I know I can always rely on you to speak honestly. Right, another vote then, girls. I'm just coming to my head again. Oh, all these things just keep happening. What about if I mean, this might be really silly thing to do. What about a bit of wall in front of these? Might not make sense at all, but I just wondered. I thought I'd just put it out there. What do you think? Like that? And then I'm going to pop a couple of leaves here. And then I'm going to pop maybe should have my tweezers, that would work. Yeah, and then I can pop a sentiment there. Yeah, what do you think? What have you got anything to add? Should I put something on the white bits, or should we leave that? Because I did say white space is good. Off the top of my head, oh, it's just come to me. Come on, girls, what's missing? I can't believe somebody hasn't said this just, you know, before. Come on, the D word, everyone. The D word. Come on, where are you? I'm getting it ready. Come on, what's it missing? If Glenna was here, she would say it straight away. Dottage. Well done, Rosie. Dottage is what we need. I can't believe I didn't think of that. And Ruth didn't say it. Anne's got it, dots. Yeah, definitely want dottage. Okay, now I've arranged all that, and now I've got to take it all off to do the dottage. Remember where everything is, girls, won't you, please? So that when it comes to putting it all back together again, I can roughly know where it all was. Okay. In fact, I've decided to take a photo of it now so that I can use that to help me. Although, you know what'll happen, I'll have that photograph and then it'll keep going away, won't it? But anyway, we'll try it. So I'm going to do the dottage then. Oh, and by the way, do you like the bit of wall in front? Do you think that looks looks, I personally quite like it, but tell me if you don't, if you think it would look better if I put it all behind. Let's put it all behind us. Okay, so I'm going to do the dots actually in one of the colours. I did think of using the brown, but looking at this, I would say either the Calypso Coral or the Misty Moonlight. Or should we do a bit of both? Whoops. Did I get your attention? Come on, girls. Moonlight or coral or both. I've got both stamp pads ready. You like the top one in front, but the bottom one. Okay. Calypso Coral on both. Oh, Adam. Oh, Adam, I'm so glad you're watching. How lovely of you to vote. Thank you. So, Coral, Coral, Misty, both. Do you know what? I'm going to do both then. And then, Adam, you do get your Calypso Coral. Okay, so if I just pop them there and then I know... oh, note to self. Hold stamp vertically. Just popping a bit around the outside for good measure. Some of this won't get seen, obviously, but... Has Adam been stamping again since Thursday when we looked at what he'd done? I do hope so. Oh, do you know what? I've just thought of another stamp that's like a splat. It might be on the new... It might be in the new catalogue, maybe. That's why I can't actually see it and I haven't thought to use it. Right, who's looked in the new catalogue then and can tell me if I'm right, if there's a splat stamp in the new catalogue? Okay. So, we had that there. Then we had one roughly in the middle, didn't we? Let's bring that down a bit so we're... Oh, no dottage here. How did that happen? Oh, that's quite nice. When you stamped it off, it comes out like little raindrops. Oh, I like that effect. You know, like lighter in the middle. That was what do they call that? A happy accident. Easter cards to do this weekend. Oh, wow. Rosie, please, can you ask Adam if you can pop them on your page to show us? We'd really love to see them. So for those who don't know, Rose is one of my teammates and Adam is her son. And he absolutely loves stamping and he's so good. So we're going to go, oh sorry, put some glue on there. Now these might not be even as they come down the card, but I actually think that's better. Hilary, I've just realised you asked about that bottle that I bought to put my glue in. I bought a new one because you were saying you don't like the tiny I never remember this name. What do you call it? Fine tip bottles. So this is the one I'm using at the moment, which is quite sizable. And that comes out like that. But I bought a new one the other day, the one I was telling you about. It's the same bottle, but it's really big. If I hold it in my hand like that, and then you can see it's a really good size. And then all I did was use a thick needle to pierce it, and it comes out like that. It's really, really good. So let's pop, I'll just show you how, how it comes out. So it comes out really a tiny bit if you don't squeeze very hard. If you squeeze harder, you can get more out. It's really good. And then you can pop the lid on so it doesn't dry out, and keep it upside down in a jar so you don't get an airlock in it, and then it will work every time. And I do, the thing is, I know you don't craft as much as me, so you will need to, I use my glue every day, so you do need to remember to every day go and get it, take the lid off, squeeze a bit out to keep it moving, and always keep the lid back on. But keeping it upside down is the key. This one doesn't have a lid, but I keep that piece of kitchen paper in the bottom damp and like that, and every day I squirt water on it, squeeze some glue out, and it still works. So that's what I do. Now we're going to talk in, and I've forgotten. I haven't put glue on that bit. So I've come in a little bit at each side so that I can pop that down like so, and the other piece like so. Yeah, I think actually that was a good call, Anne, because it just gives it a little bit of difference, just one piece coming off there. Well done. It's really nice to swap ideas. You don't want a big one. Well, what about this one? This is a good size. So I thought you said you didn't like the really little ones because you had to keep filling them up. As my mum would say, it's not very often I'm right, but I'm wrong again. Okay, so oh, not putting that. Whoa, that was close, girls. That was close. You do get a little bit of time to move things with the wet glue. Right, I'm just going to turn this over. This is a little trick. No, I went to sleep and dreamed it, Hills. So sorry. I turn it over when I want to rub on it so that I don't catch the edges. Joanna says the new Nature's Prince has a splat stamp in it. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, that's on my wish list. So I think we'll pop this up to give it a bit of dimension. I've run out of actual dimensionals, I think. So I'm going to have to use a substitute. Oh, sorry about this, girls. Oh, I have found some. Wow, I didn't know these were in here. Okay, so I'm just going to pop some on the back here. And off with the backing. everybody else seems to be able to do this very quickly, that method, and it always still takes me ages. Oh, thank you so much for forgiving me, Hills, because I don't like being wrong and being told off and upsetting people. Have I grovelled enough? Okay, so I did have these here, didn't I? I might change that. We'll see in a minute. Let's put a lighter one here as well. Put that there so it goes into the white, and then a couple of leaves. I haven't put enough glue on that, or maybe it dried before I ripped it up and then stuck it back down. Actually, I don't think I put any glue on it. And actually, before it dries, I'm going to pop that under. Well, that was a good job I checked that, because I haven't stuck these. Right, we're nearly there. And I can't believe that no, it can't, because I've stuck it down now, Ruth. Oh, I can't move the leaves though. There you go. Is that all right? There you go. Happy? So I'll pop that leaf in there to hide that little gap. All right. There we are. Yeah, I did have it further down on my on the first skirt. Well, look at that. We're almost there. I just need a greeting, don't I? God. I'm so sorry, girls, but I've gone over the hour. So bad mark for me. And I think we will I'm going to use the lovely stamp that says "Let's celebrate you." So let's grab this piece here. And I don't know what's going on outside, but there's a very strange noise. I'm going to do this in, I think I'll do it in the Daffodil Delight to match the sunflower. And let me just quickly see if I've got a nice die here to cut that out with. Looking for one that will be long enough, but not too long. Let's check that one. That's not long enough. That one is, but it's too big. So it's just going to be, I'm afraid, it's just going to be cut out straight. I need more room. Oh, What do you mean? The stamping? What, these? Oh, for these? Ah, yeah, but I've got all of this left, Hilary, for another card. Or a box or something. That's the thing about doing a one sheet wonder. You can use it for lots of things. I'm just doing this by eye, no measuring. So, which is why it's a bit skewy. It's not quite straight. I'm going to just quickly get that bit with my scissors and just straighten that up. Oh, Esther's going to be very sad that she's missed my big scissors called Ellie. There we are. And just want to grab my bone folder, which is buried somewhere. Oh, I can't find it. Let's go over that with my thumbnail just to get that flattened. Oh, Anne, thanks very much for saying that you've really enjoyed it. You like the one sheet wonder. So I'm just going to pop that there. It could do with a border, so to mount it onto some early espresso would be a good idea, but I don't really have time for that now. And it would make it, I'd have to cut quite a bit out and it would cover a lot of this. So I'm just going to go around the outside with a little bit of ink. And I found the best way to get a tiny border is to use these little sponge daubers, they're called. So you find the right colour. That'll do. That says soft suede on it, but it won't matter if we use this rather than a brush. Gives you that finer bit of shading, more of a very dark edge. Can I just remind you, ladies, to give me a thumbs up, a like below the video. If you can't see it, if you're on full screen, you know, when you reduce the screen again before you leave, yeah, if you could just click that button for me, it helps with my algorithms, I think they're called. Tell me if I'm right, Ruth. But whatever it's called, it helps. Okay. Yeah, like, I know you're all subscribed. Share with friends who you think might enjoy watching things like this. And there we go. As usual, I'll link to my online store and the digital catalogue I'll download in the description box below. And of course, I'm happy to supply any items from the current catalogues. I actually think I'm going to put this slightly off the wall, like so. So that's today's project. I'm going to try and make a little bit more, a little less mess around here, so that you can see the card nice and clearly. So there's our finished project today. So we used watercolour shapes, Celebrate Sunflowers, and the stacked stone background stamp. So done twice. What do you mean done twice? And what do you mean, Hilary, where is it? What did I say about Where is it? What? Oh, you mean the thumbs up button? Yeah. Yeah, you couldn't find it last time, could you? But I think you're watching on your phone, and I know it's all different on your phone. Joanna, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I thank you all very much for watching and for your support. It makes all the difference. And yeah, I hope to see you again next week, next Saturday live. And there'll be a recorded video on Wednesday. Bye-bye, everybody. And have a lovely weekend. Bye.